Yeah.
All right, YouTube. This is Guerrero the Barrio here with my boy.
Litebrite in the building.
Yo, you know it's me, John Mega.
Mega. All right, we're missing two of our colleagues today. Our boys FliCity and Black Magic. So here's the deal. We're not experts by any means. These are just our opinions. We love the sports. We love football. We love to talk statistics and the reasons why. So with Super Bowl Sunday coming up, we got the Rams versus the Patriots. 2 seasons ago, the Rams went 4-12, and now they're in the Super Bowl. So let's see. We got four teams that in the year 2017, we got the Houston Texans, the Indianapolis Colts, Cleveland Browns, and New York Giants, who all had 4 or fewer wins in 2017. Out of these 14 boys, who do you think has a chance of going to the Super Bowl 54 next year?
Cool. Easily.
Don Mega
Andrew
says,
Luck's going to get Indianapolis that line?
or you think so? You think the Colts, huh?
Yeah, definitely. They got the best line. They have a running game, and they have Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, possible comeback player of the year. I could see that.
I mean, I feel that, but you know what? I'm going to have to ride with my boy Baker Mayfield on this one. I think Baker Mayfield has everything that it takes to do it, bro. Dude, look what he did in just 6 games, bro. In like 6 to 8 games, this kid threw 27 touchdowns. Come on. 27 touchdowns, dog. 27
You think the Browns are going to go from absolutely garbage to just the Super Bowl? Because of Baker Mayfield?
Dude, no. Look at it. Okay, Myles Garrett, is on a tear, right? Denzel Ward, if it wasn't for the injuries, he was on pace to lead the league in interceptions. In the first 4 games, he was leading the league in interceptions. He had a pick in each of his first 4 games. Imagine what they're going to do when they're healthy and they add a few more pieces. I'm telling you, Baker Mayfield is going to change that franchise around.
I get all of what you're saying, bro, but it starts at the top. Owners, GMs, coaches, all that shit. That's what's all that stuff. That's what's messed up about the Browns, though. It's not the players. It's everything else about the organization.
They're going to be fine. I'm telling you. They're going to be fine. Baker Mayfield, they finally have a franchise quarterback that they can believe in. They finally have it. You cannot tell me that Baker Mayfield is not the best thing that has happened to that franchise in a long time. They finally have a quarterback that they can commit and build around. They have the pieces. They just need to add a few more pieces, and they're there. Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, however you say his name, David Njoku. I mean, dude, it's there. It's there. Look what they did. Look how harder that team played when Baker Mayfield was in the game. Remember when he took over for Tyrod Taylor and in the second half turned around and won that game for them? Did you see how much harder that team was playing for Baker Mayfield than it was Tyrod Taylor?
I get it, bro. And I get it. I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm just saying that the organization itself is. They've always had good players. They get all these first-round picks every year, these high first-round picks. They're going to have players. They got players. They can play.
No. That's not completely true. That's not completely true. Yeah, they've had first-round picks. Okay, they've had first-round picks, right? That they've had good players, but most of those players didn't work out. Look how many first-round quarterbacks that they drafted. They don't even have those guys anymore. They didn't even last like 4 years in that organization.
Okay, but you're going from – you're saying – I just don't see how you really actually believe that. Over the Colts, with that defense, Andrew Luck, a running game, and arguably the best line in the league.
Arguably.
Already established.
Arguably. That's just arguably. That was 1 year, dude.
You have a better line.
Dude, I'm telling you, Baker Mayfield is going to wow some people next year. I'm telling you.
All right. All right. So okay, so we got Don Mega with the Colts, Litebrite with the Browns. Honestly, though, in my opinion, I can see the Texans doing it, man. I mean, look at what they did last year. Matt Shaw was their starting quarterback. Horrible. They put in Deshaun Watson, and before he got hurt, they were putting up points. They were putting up 20+ points when he was in the game. Then he got hurt, out for the season. Their season was over. Now you got Black Magic's here, guys. This is our other colleague, Black Magic. Now you got you jumped right in the middle of the recording, brother. Yeah, we're recording. So
what the fuck? That's why they jumped.
But so as I was saying though, Deshaun Watson comes back this year. He was the most sacked quarterback this year in the league. They don't have an offensive line, but he still took the Texans to the playoffs this year. Other than the Colts, he's the only other team out of these four options of the Giants, Browns, Colts, and Texans that went to the playoffs. Last year, the Rams went to the playoffs, and now they're in the Super Bowl. So the Colts and the Texans both have the ability, the personnel, and great coaching to get to the playoffs. I personally think with how young Deshaun Watson is, how great Hopkins has been playing, and arguably one of the best defenses in the league with Romeo Crennel as the defensive coordinator, they have every weapon possible to get this push into the Super Bowl next year. I mean, none of us are fans of these four teams, but objectively, we can see where they're good at. And that's why I can see the Texans going to the Super Bowl next year over the Browns and the Colts.
I can see what you're talking about, but how long is he going to stay uninjured with that line? He has to run for his life. Especially with the elite pass rushers now, bro. Like, he has to run for his life. He's going to get hurt again.
I mean, I feel that. I feel that because, I mean, I get what you're saying about the Texans. Like, Deshaun Watson had a great year. And another big ups to DeAndre Hopkins because that man literally caught 115 receptions and didn't drop a single one. Single one. But when it mattered, they were irrelevant. Where was Hopkins and Watson? It's always the same thing. They ball out in the regular season, but when it matters, they're gone.
Well, I mean, the same can be said. Look, in my opinion, they have one missing key factor somewhere. I don't think they have a good running game. Miller's a great running back, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's not that key factor. I mean, perfect example of what a single position, once you get it filled, can do is, my Chiefs. We went to the playoffs year after year, losing that first game, and we all said it. I've told you, Black Magic, that, Mahomes was going to make that change. Mahomes was that player, that key position player to make that change to get us pushed, and he proved that in that game against the Colts. I mean, yeah, they lost to the Patriots. I mean, it was a shootout at the end of the game. But I feel like if the Texans were to get a running back, and let's face it, there is two great running backs in free agency this year. You got Le'Veon Bell, and then Kareem Hunt looks like he's just going to be suspended for a couple games, and then he'll be back on that. So I mean, you got two great running backs in free agency right now that, if the Texans wanted to, they have the cap room to take one of these running backs, and then you got that running game. That could be the key factor for this team, is a running back.
Can I say something though? You said Pat Mahomes. That's a generational quarterback. Most important position. They need a whole line. Like they need 5 linemen.
You see,
even make them work.
See.
Wait. Hold on, boys. I need to, before we continue on, I need to hear where Black Magic's at right now with all this. Where's your standpoint?
Yeah, what do you think, Black? We got either the Browns, Colts, Texans, or Giants, who all went 4 or fewer wins in the 2017 season. Which of those 4 teams do you think has a better chance of pushing to the Super Bowl 54 next year?
For the Super Bowl 54 next. Like, I mean, I see your point and your perspective when you're talking about the Texans, but if Deshaun Watson doesn't learn how to be a pocket passer, they're not doing anything. And if they don't upgrade their running game, they're not doing anything. I mean, they have a good defense, great defense, but that offensive line and him always scrambling, that's not gonna it's not gonna last. But I'm gonna have to go with the Colts, man, because they have a quarterback. Their offensive line is finally starting to come together. They have a decent running game. They have a great defense.
Okay. All right,
I
guys.
yeah. I see the Colts. That like being realistic. Yeah, I see the Colts, but I could see the Browns to sneak in there, kind of like low key. I wouldn't say Super Bowl, but I would say like playoff aspirations. And then who's the fourth team?
Giants.
The Giants. If Eli's their quarterback still, the Giants are not doing anything.
Okay. So hold up. So all four of us obviously are going. You know, we got two for Colts with Don Mega, Black Magic. Litebrite has the Browns. I got the Texans. None of us think the Giants could do anything.
No.
Not is it because of Eli? Or are we all thinking it's because of Eli? We think his time.
No, it's not even okay. So my standpoint on the Giants is the fact is that of course for one, Eli it doesn't work anymore. Eli hasn't done anything significant for them since their last Super Bowl. Hasn't done anything. They've barely reached the playoff. I mean, I like their addition of Saquon Barkley because that finally solidifies a good running back, and that boy can play. And I mean, they did sign Odell Beckham Jr., which I mean, the man can play, but he has his drama issues on the field and off the field.
That man's a
deep. He does have game though, but when you look at it, is going into this year like. They're not looking at Eli. They're going to bring in a new quarterback. And that new quarterback he's not going to take them to the playoffs. Honestly, the Giants are in a rebuild as far as a quarterback in their situation. Unless they can find someone who's balling. I mean, there's some good quarterbacks coming out in this draft, don't get me wrong. But I don't think any of them are to the point where they can lead this team to a Super Bowl right away.
So
you think the Giants would trade up to get Kyler Murray?
Get who?
Kyler Murray.
Honestly, okay. So with Kyler Murray, I honestly feel like Kyler Murray is the type of quarterback where you don't really have to trade up to get him. Like, he'll just kind of fall in your lap. Because, I mean, not two people are really high because it's kind of shaky with Kyler Murray. Because that kid has, he has two different professions he can go in. Because, I mean, originally before he even entered the NBA draft, or the NFL draft, he was already signed to a baseball contract with the A's. You know what I'm saying?
do you think this is a possible new trend, though, in the NFL to look at these football players, these quarterbacks that also could possibly play Major League? I mean, John Elway was one of those first quarterbacks back in the day.
Right now in the NFL, we do have a quarterback who is playing both sports, and that's Russell Wilson. He does play. He does play quarterback, and then he plays baseball in the offseason. I believe he plays for the Yankees now. He got traded to.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look at that.
I'm not 100% sure, but he's playing baseball somewhere.
So do you think
he does do that?
You think that's a new trend with NFL teams? Is picking up these quarterback / baseball players to lead their team?
I could see it becoming a new trend.
But it's shaky though because could you really take the risk? Because what if the kid doesn't like the organization or things aren't going his way, and he's like, oh, you know what? Forget this. I'm just gonna go play baseball. Sorry.
Okay. So do you think? So you're saying the Giants won't make it because of all these issues. Do you think you think them getting a new quarterback this year won't help at all this year could it possibly help in a couple years?
No, I think getting a whole new quarterback, I think will definitely change the chemistry and bring a whole new vibe to that team. They need a new quarterback. Eli Manning just isn't it. I mean, honestly, like, that offense, as much as I hate to say it, that offense can be explosive. It really can. I mean, they have the weapons. They have Odell, they have Saquon, they have Sterling Shepard. I mean, Evan Ingram when he's healthy. I mean, you just need a quarterback that can make the plays, and Eli just isn't that guy anymore. He's just not.
Okay. What about you, Magic? What you thinking about the Giants here?
So pretty much the same thing Brian just said. He just clarified everything. Like seriously, like I couldn't have said it better myself. Like if they get a new quarterback and get their like coaching together again, like they did in the Super Bowl year that they had, that team could actually be a dangerous team. They could
really
be a very dangerous team.
It really
They're
could.
sleeper. They're sleeper. I'll tell you that much right now. They're sleeper. If they fix that quarterback situation, New York could be scary again.
Yeah.
So
the best way to put it is that team's like a brand new car. You just need the key to start it.
I gotcha.
I mean, it really is, dude. I mean, they have the talent. They just don't have right.
Okay.
They just don't have it.
All right. So we're all in agreement. We don't think the Giants have that shot to get to the Super Bowl next year. Okay. Now for perspective for YouTube, none of these guys, including me, are fans of either of these teams. I'm personally a KC fan. Bright, you're an Atlanta fan. I know our boy Don Magic over here is a Zeke fan, so he's a Cowboy fan. And then our boy Magic over here is a Pittsburgh fan. So I mean, none of us are fans of these teams, guys, but we do look at the perspective. We see the greatness in these teams, the possibility they have, and respect that. We all agree that we don't think the Giants got it. A lot of us, three of us. I don't know about you, Don. What you think? You think it's Eli and the Giants? You think Eli needs to go? They need a new quarterback in that organization, or
Eli should bingo.
Yeah,
that dude got mobile, got accurate, old, just
okay. So
really
what we were all just talking about is what we've all kind of pretty much agreed on, is saying that the Giants, right? They have Odell Beckham, Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, right? All very nice, young, talented players who can make plays, right? Literally, all that team needs is a quarterback to electrify those four players, and they could be something. Would you agree?
Kyler Murray.
He would inject just straight savageness into this.
I can see that. I can see how he could help the Giants a lot. But tell me something. What would the Giants have to give up to trade up for this kid? This kid is he's what? I think a top 5 prospect in the draft right now? I mean, he's
top 10.
Top 10? Yeah, I can't. Does anybody in the top 10 right now need quarterbacks? Is that where they're hurting at mainly? I mean,
the Jaguars.
Yeah, I know the Jaguars need one.
The Jaguars definitely need a quarterback.
And you know the Jaguars are probably going to look into getting someone mobile because, as we have seen, besides some of these great pocket passers of Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, these guys don't need to be mobile and need great running backs, but a lot of these other good teams have mobile quarterbacks along with a good running back. You got Christian McCaffrey, Cam Newton in Carolina, mobile and a great running back. You got, Patrick Mahomes and Kareem Hunt were great together. And then now we got Damian Williams, who he stepped up for the Chiefs. But I mean, and then you got Russell Wilson. He's very mobile. Lamar Jackson's very mobile, and it opens up a lot. So, you put a mobile quarterback in New York with Saquon Barkley and those guys, you think that'll make a huge difference? Or is there something more? Is there more of an underlying problem here?
My thing is like, I like Kyler Murray. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he could definitely potentially be a really nice quarterback in the NFL. but he definitely needs some work because, I mean, in that game against Alabama, he started off really shaky, really shaky. I mean, towards the end, yeah, he started to get it together, but he definitely needs some work. But I think it'll work nice. I think the Giants don't really need to give up anything to move up to get him. I think that he will just fall to them.
Okay. All right, guys.
Like I said before, I think a lot of teams are scared about the fact that he still has that baseball contract.
I got you.
And that
I got
does
you.
play a factor. That's kind of a bargaining chip. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? You really got to think about that. Because if he doesn't like where he goes, he doesn't have to stay. He can just say, hey, you know what? I don't like where I went. I'm just going to go play baseball.
Okay. Okay. All right, guys. So the four of us don't think the Giants can go anywhere, but so our final thoughts. I'm still, even after hearing these arguments, you know, I can sway a little bit to the Colts side here because, you know, they do got a better base to build off of to go to the Super Bowl next year. So I'm swaying a little bit to the Colts. I still think the Texans could do it. Bright, you still sticking with the Browns, or did you get swayed a little? Still sticking with the Browns, huh? Still think.
sticking with Browns.
All right, Dom, you still sticking with your Colts, man, or were you swayed at all? You still thinking the Colts got a chance to go to the Super Bowl next year?
All day long.
All day long. Okay. Magic, what about you? You still sticking with the Colts? Your first pick there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, YouTube, you let us know. You like, comment, subscribe. Tell us who you think out of these four teams will go to the Super Bowl. Could go to the Super Bowl, I guess, next year, regardless if they're your favorite team or not. And if you disagree with us about the Giants, let us know why. Tell us your thoughts. Next time, we're going to be talking about who we think could win the Rookie of the Year, both Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we'll see you guys then. The crew's out of here today, boys.